was actually helping people who got put in a bad position and their company is no longer in business that installed them originally, or they were from out of state and they can't track down whoever installed it, the subcontractor, or their company just won't return their phone call, even if they are.
Make sure you have the three big ones, right? The people, the processes in place, and communication. So the one, you already heard it. Don't subcontract. Do everything in-house.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way to do it. That's the only sustainable way to do it. It's best for our industry.
So hey guys, this is Vinit this side, and today is our very fifth episode of our podcast, and today we have North Coast Solar owners. We have Jimmy Johns and we have Jacob. So first of all, how you guys are doing?
Doing fantastic today. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great day.
Perfect. So can you guys introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah, sure. My name is James Jacobs. I am a co-owner here at North Coast Solar in Davison, Michigan.
And I'm Jimmy Johns, James Johns. So that obviously gets confusing. So you got JJ here and me, Jimmy, North Coast Solar.
Perfect. So guys, can you tell me how did you guys got into solar, this industry? How did you guys got into solar?
Well, that's a great question. I think we have both a little bit different, idea or different history or story when it comes to that. About 8 years ago, I was doing HVAC and I wanted to change. So renewable energy seemed very interesting to me. I knew it was kind of going to be the way of the future. So I was around at different companies, and I found a solar company that offered me a job as a salesperson, and I exceeded there pretty quickly up into management. And then also about the same time, I realized they weren't doing things the best way possible, in my opinion. So a few years into that, we ended up starting our own solar company. Decided to go out on our own, branch off, and Jimmy here at the same time. I'll let him tell the story, but we worked together, so we kind of meshed real well, and we decided that we were going to go into business and create our solar company with the vision of making sure customers are always first, doing things right, giving price point, showing savings, being very transparent. And so far, 4 years into this venture, we've succeeded at all of those.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to add my background. I was 20 years of hospitality, high-end restaurants, jumped into solar as a way to just get better as a person, take on the next challenge in life. And that's where I met JJ here. He actually was my boss, manager at a different company that he just spoke about. But I wasn't there long before I realized what I didn't know and found out that company was not doing things right. And we started North Coast Solar. It was actually JJ's brainchild, if you will. But it didn't take much convincing for me to know, hey, there's a need for this to be done the right way. And as JJ said, with transparency, making sure people really understand expectations, and making things affordable and attainable, and having the integrity to walk away from a job if it's not going to be a good fit for that homeowner, their life plan, their property, following code, doing everything right, one and done, 5-star experience is really our mission, and making sure customers are happy and they're going to get what we show them is possible. We don't mess around with numbers, true expectations, and it's been rocking and rolling ever since. Word of mouth is the best advertising you can get, and our customers have become ambassadors for not just the industry, but specifically for our brand, for North Coast Solar. So
sounds good. So you guys started 4 years ago, right?
Yes, actually, April 24th was our official anniversary date. We kind of had some things in the book a little before that, but on the books, yeah, April 24th was our kickoff in 2020, and we just celebrated 4 years.
Okay, so when you guys started solar, how was your, like initial days? How was your initial years with this industry?
Oh man, so great question, and we thought we knew it all, obviously, and we didn't. We made some mistakes early on. One of the biggest ones, and one of the things that I would advise anyone to stay far away from, is subcontracting. We were subcontracting all of our installs, and we had a good knowledge of everything on the front end, but not enough on the back end yet, and we ended up making a huge mistake, and a lot of potential customers suffered, didn't get their systems in. Don't know if you want to conclude this in the podcast, but we had a lawsuit against the company that was supposed to be subcontracting and fulfilling all these jobs. And we actually won the lawsuit for a sizable amount, but they went out of business and were uncollectible. So that was our biggest mistake. We did a 360 about 10 months in, once we realized what was happening, and we brought everything in-house. And since then, we've been fully integrated, and that's the only way to do it, in my opinion. A to Z, one company. Like I think Jimmy said a little bit ago, one-stop shop, one and done.
Yeah, it's definitely, getting started as just a sales organization, which I know there's a lot of companies out there like that, and some of them have success if they're working with, a vetted and, trustworthy EPC. But at the end of the day, the industry needs more control and I guess regulation. And by doing third-party sales, some guy in Texas selling to somebody in Michigan who doesn't understand the fire code, doesn't know the buybacks or the tariffs that are set for each utility company, because they do change from utility company to utility company. That due diligence isn't there when people are just trying to cash grab and slap some panels up. Installers just get paid once it's up. Customers have a horrible experience. It was the exact opposite of what our mission and vision was for our company and the industry, to work with, subcontractors. At the end of the day, it's just bad for everybody, in our opinion. Not saying there are some exceptions that do things right, or at least intend to do things right. But yeah, the beginning was rough. A lot of sleepless nights knowing that somebody I promised something to, it wasn't going to happen. But we were able to go back to a lot of those homeowners after we came all in-house.
Made it right.
And we made it right. At the end of the day, we own all of our decisions, good or bad. If bad, we make it right. So
we made it right with money out of our pocket, and with most occasions as well. So it was tough.
Got it. So as of right now, what do you think? What your guys' mission is?
Our mission right now, it's actually behind me on the wall. I'll read it. Our mission is that we instill confidence in our customers with sustainable energy solutions. We are providing lifelong savings, security through transparent, family-oriented services. And as we succeed, we transform the reputation of the industry. We will be the largest solar company in Michigan is our goal. We're headed that direction really quick.
That sounds definitely like amazing. So now,
that kind of company you'd want to work with?
Say that again.
Doesn't that sound like the kind of company that you'd want to work?
Definitely. So solar is your first business, right? Or you guys also, what was your first venture? Is it solar?
Our first business that we've had together, or
you can tell me about.
This is our first business working together. JJ's had.
I've owned a couple businesses in the past, over the past 20 years. Obviously, neither one of those are still in effect for various reasons. Most economy and things out of my control. But our business here, this one with North Coast Solar, which is again our baby, it's our end game. I'm building the future for my family, for the industry. We have been in business again 4 years. We have little to zero debt, and we've been profitable every year ever since year one.
So what do you think, what is solar gonna look like after 10 years from now?
Hold on, let me get up my crystal ball. No, just kidding. I hope that it's more attainable and affordable. I hope that there are more incentives. I hope the utility companies play fair. I hope that there is going to be more efficient battery systems. I could go on and on. I don't know what it's going to look like, though. It could be something totally different than what we even imagined. 20 years ago, the idea of us sitting there talking on a computer was probably unfathomable, right? Doing everything on our phones. So who knows what it's going to be like in 10 years. But I know one thing. We're going to be in business.
Yeah, we'll be here. And honestly, what I hope happens in the industry is more people follow the business model that we've started. And I know there's a lot out there where it's more similar to like the HVAC industry, where you call and you can get 4 quotes from 3 or 4 different companies within a 100-mile radius of you, where now you can just pick. There's a flat rate, fair market price, and you just get to pick who you want to work with. Really is what it comes down to. And that just takes out the potential, like I keep saying, for the customer to have a bad experience. I mean, you're still going to have bad apples that are even doing all in-house, no subcontracting, of course, but they'll weed themselves out. The flash in the pans they'll just go away.
Well, the one way that's going to happen is with regulation. Right now, it's the Wild West. You know this. There's no regulation, so anybody can call themselves a solar company. So right now, we're trying to educate our customers. There's a difference between, there's a difference between companies. You got to make sure you're not just going with the guy that, says the right thing, says what you want to hear, tells you things just because you want to hear them. We give facts, data, and figures, and let the customer make a decision based on what they've seen. So regulation, with regulation, fair competition we welcome it.
Yeah, every company should just be selling on the value that they offer the homeowner, and then delivering on it, and then let their actions speak. Let their installs, let their customer service speak for what they're really doing. Is what it comes down to. Is just a little bit more integrity in the industry is what I hope and I think will happen, whether it's forced or like us forced upon ourselves.
So when you guys speak with your customers, existing customers right now, what do you feel? What your existing customers think about you guys?
Oh, they love us. Honestly, I mean, maybe I'm biased, but I mean, our Google reviews, our Facebook reviews will tell you that. Building relationships with our customers is huge because, like again, I said, they become ambassadors for not just our brand, but for the industry, and hopefully prevent people from making a bad decision by going with a company that's again just cash grabbing and isn't actually looking out for the longevity of the homeowner as well as the industry themselves. So I think our customers know that that's our passion, that we're actually excited about delivering an amazing experience and getting them the truth about solar. So I think our customers, I love our customers.
So like you said, we've got 5-star reviews. We get tons of referrals from our customers, and we get, believe it or not, we get repeat business. A lot of people don't think, how can someone do repeat business in solar? Their panels are good for 30 years. Well, we're adding panels on, we're adding generators, we're adding EV chargers, people move, we're adding batteries. So we get a lot of second money. A lot of people wanted to come back to us and spend money with us again because we did such a good job.
Yeah, and a big part of our activity or revenue generating right now is actually helping people who got put in a bad position and their company is no longer in business that installed them originally, or they were from out of state and they can't track down whoever installed it, the subcontractor, or their company just won't return their phone call, even if they are an all in-house company. So we do a lot of service work for people, getting things set back the way they should be, come reevaluate the position and design of their panels, And a lot of people love that, hey, these guys took the time to come out and actually educate me, where my original salesperson, if you will, never did that. And now we bring them focus and clarity to what their system can do and how to monitor it, how to review their bill and look at what their utility company is doing versus what their monitoring is saying. That's a huge focus for us is educating people on how it all actually works and helping out the people that got screwed. I'll say it, that people got screwed, and we come and save the day.
Yeah, our service log right now, we honestly, we've got the guys, but we are just as busy with servicing customers that we did not install as our own new customers. We try to do it at a fair price, but we do have to charge sometimes. And people are okay with that. And the nice thing about it is we have quality individuals on our service team, each one of them educated and certified in multiple different systems. So we can handle those. I believe as more and more people are aware of us and more people are not able to contact their original company, we're going to have a weekly dedicated scheduled team just for that service. So anyone watching this, feel free to get a hold of us if you're in Michigan and they need some service.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I had to throw a plug in there.
But our team,
that's completely fine.
Yeah, our team, our install team is somewhat hand selected. We've also gotten lucky and have attracted some really talented, educated, great people. Their experience is, I'd put them up against any install team in the country all day long. Our guys, number one, they care. They do a good job. They take care of people's homes. I mean, that's most people's biggest investment is their home. You think about the pandemic, our houses became our gyms, our restaurants, we couldn't leave. So the people see the value of the comfort and the investment they have in their home. And all of our guys look at their property as this is my property. I'm going to do this job the best and most efficient way, The
one thing to add to that too, and I know we keep adding things here, but our guys that Jimmy was just talking about, our install team, our service team, this is going to be a rare thing. I found that each and every one of our guys is minimally a licensed apprentice electrician. We do not have anyone on staff that goes to a customer's home that's not a licensed electrician, which you don't find that everywhere these days.
Got it.
That's technically the law.
As you guys, transition from sales organization to having your own, installation team. So how did you guys, did that? How did you guys transition from, from being completely subcontractor to getting where you are right now?
We found the right people real quick. So some of them don't work here, but we were lucky enough to be able to have enough base knowledge and align ourselves with the right people for licensing. And then we just improved upon that over the last 3+ years, finding better people. I'll be honest, there's not anyone that works here that worked with us 3 years ago. We constantly look to improve the quality of our service. And like you said a little bit ago, we have hand selected some folks. We got lucky, and we've got top-notch people. I would be very disappointed and sad if any of them left.
True. Yeah, I don't think the guys we have now have any intentions of leaving. They're right on board with the mission, the vision. They see the opportunity for themselves as an employee to mature, grow with the company, get paid more, obviously. We do some equity management bonuses. Like, we find a guy that can do the job and cares. You do what you got to do to keep somebody like that on the team. We take care of our people, really, because at the end of the day, businesses aren't going to move people. People are going to move businesses. So it all comes down to, having the right key people on the team, really. So making that transition was It was scary.
Mhm.
I mean, JJ and I were out there digging trenches, running trenchers, had a master electrician that was helping us with landing everything. It started with like, hey, let's just do the work, because if it's going to get done right, let's go do it right. And then the word got out, and we just kept, it's like, hey, we need to bring people, because we can't go sell and install or run the business. So it was a matter of just finding people that were aligned with wanting the same thing for the industry that we want.
Um, so to find, to find A-list players in your team. So do you have any like filtration things, checklist? So what you guys do to get these A-list players?
Actually, we do have a checklist we go through, and it's been a constantly evolving thing. We've developed some new processes recently, being that we now have that A-list team. We're not going to bring anyone on board that's going to jeopardize that. So we have some job descriptions and hiring and onboarding processes in place now that we didn't have 3 years ago. It's just all growing pains, and through the right, mentorship and coaching and leadership, and holding ourselves accountable, we keep developing the team. And we're going to continue to develop the team. But a year from now, we're going to have twice as many people, and we're going to say the same thing about them. They're rock stars. We might have to go through a few bad ones to get to those, but they identify themselves pretty quick.
There's processes in place now, which 4 years ago we didn't have any of that. And like JJ just mentioned, mentorship and coaching, we're constantly learning too. We have hired a consulting group. I don't know if I can plug them or not. Cardone Ventures is our business mentorship and coaching. The team over there is incredible. So we tell our guys, hey, we want growth oriented people. You should be always constantly developing yourself as a person, be inspirational, and be transparent. So we have coaches too. We're not going to sit here and say we got it all figured out. We got to follow a leader as well. And if everybody does that step in step, then we can develop even more people as the business grows and impact a lot more people's lives. So.
Got it. So I've got one question. It's kind of, like personal one. So if you guys, could write a note to yourself. Okay. So what you will be writing like for your old version?
If I could write a note to myself 4 years ago, what would it be?
Yeah.
You don't know it. You don't know it all. You don't know what you don't know. Because back then, honestly, I thought I knew it all, and I learned the hard way.
Yeah, fair enough. I have to echo that. It's just, stay humble, stay, hungry to continue to learn, to adapt. But also I would write, keep that focus on the customer, which is what we've always done. If you make making a customer happy and doing the right thing is always your goal, then you're going to be successful 4 years from now, which we are. So it would be hand in hand, those two things, I think.
Got it. So like, as you spoke about success, so what is success for you guys?
Success for me is being able to provide for others, give others opportunity, not just people that were employed with us, but our customers, and opportunity to the industry. And again, right back to our mission, that's our success. So it's not money. There's no money in success. It's all about opportunity and providing for others to reach those opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, success to me is knowing that we are transforming the reputation of the industry, and making success easier for others is to me, that would make me successful. If I can help 100 people reach their personal professional financial goals, then I've done something good. I'm successful now because I've helped other people hit their goals and targets and see them be able to take care of their families. And nobody nobody got screwed at the end of the day. It's like that doesn't happen for us. So yeah, that's success for me. Pretty simple.
Got it. So if you guys, like, can explain your experience in solar industry in just 3 words, what will be
Ups and downs.
it?
I don't know. 3 words, man.
I don't
I'm a
know.
talker. I can't do that. I can't do it in 3 words. I'll just say less. Like he nailed it. I mean, our experience, just overall, what it's been like. Yeah, ups and downs. That's the nail on the head. You're gonna have them, and then it's just how you react to them is what matters.
Correct. So can you tell me, like, what are the most helpful resources that you guys have found in your, like, in your early times while starting out? And what do you think, what will be the best for the people who are starting out right now with this solar industry?
What are the best resources we've had?
Right.
I'll try to. There's a couple different areas maybe I could go down here with this as far as resources. I would say one, first and foremost, got to have the right software, the right systems, right? You got to have good vendor relationships. Getting where we're getting our solar panels, where we're getting our electrical supply from, where we're getting this from. Have that relationship, make sure you're getting a good price point, and then have the people, again, back to the people, have the right people that our office manager that handles all of our permitting interconnections and 8,000 other things. But having a person that has that kind of knowledge instead of having to do it all ourselves is huge. So hopefully I hit that question of what you're looking for. But
yeah, I'll echo that. It's preparation. Be prepared. That's definitely the foundation to any type of success and confidence. And do your own due diligence. A good resource, if you're going to go into a new territory, take the time to get online and look at the utility company's programs. Like, just do your due diligence, do the work. The resources are, yeah, I mean,
a big one that
yourself, really, like the actual drive or ambition to do it right. Figure out what those pitfalls could be before you run into them. Be proactive. It is a great resource.
Another big one, and Jimmy alluded to it earlier, was within our mentorship and our coaching. We didn't know a lot of things about how to run a business properly, even though we were, again, very successful to a point. Not everybody knows everything. There's always somebody that can help you and lead you in a better direction. And we've been doing that, and we will continue to do that as well. We've already had, extreme benefits from that.
Yeah, another thing I would tell people is when it comes to your marketing, do your due diligence on lead companies. We've been through a baker's dozen of lead gen companies, making sure that your messaging is. There's so many misconceptions about solar, and there's so many misleading ads and a lot of misleading lead generation companies. So if I were you, I would say bring your marketing, just like we did with our install team, bring it in. Bring your marketing in-house, control the message, and start there with more of a grassroots, door knocking, doing things in the community, but definitely bring your marketing in-house. Maybe have somebody help you with the systems, getting things into your CRM and being able to, do follow-up and whatnot. on a nurturing sequence, so things don't fall through the cracks. But don't farm out your marketing, or at least your messaging, to anybody who's just trying. Again, they just want your money. They don't care about your vision. They don't care about your mission. So just be leery of that. As that's a pro tip, because we've gone through them all. In-house marketing, I'd start there with the free stuff. Do the free stuff first before you start thinking about hiring somebody.
Sounds good. So what your marketing looks like right now?
So our marketing, we have several different, I mean, like Jim said, the free stuff, we're posting on Facebook, YouTube, social media avenues. We're doing stuff in the local community. Sometimes there's a cost associated with that. A lot of advertising, again, now ads, not just post, but ads on social media. Things like, mailers, door to door, partnerships, strategic partnerships with roofing companies, hardware stores, lots of different avenues. I think the one that we probably spend the most amount of money on is the social ads.
Okay.
Pay-per-click ad, if you will. That does drive the most amount of leads for us as well. It's a fine art, and like I said, we have it happening in-house, and it can always be better. There's always ways to look at other things as well. Bottom line, and this is something that we learned to do over time, is track it, have data, make shifts, make changes. The world changes every day, so don't just have one thing. If you just rely on one thing, once that one thing fails, you're done.
Got it. So right now, like, there are many ways to get leads, like call center, advertising, SEO, and other stuff. So have you ever tried, like these umbrella of things? Have you ever tried call centers to get appointments for yourself?
Yeah, we did. We tried a call center a couple times. It did not go well. And I think, and I'll take responsibility for that. I don't believe that I trained. I was told the people we were hiring had some experience in solar, but I didn't do my due diligence, didn't learn my lesson to listen to their calls and then take the time to train them better on qualifying and tying an appointment. So we had a call center as well where we just, speed to lead is the name of the game. So we had a local gentleman who knew the game, the industry really well. And as our leads came in, he would call right away. And he did a really good job of qualifying properties for solar, so we weren't spinning wheels, wasting our time, or even more important, wasting a customer's time, just to go out there and tell them they're not a good candidate for solar. So yeah, call centers are a good thing. We have that now in a kind of a hybrid model in-house. But outsourcing a call center in our market, it's not advantageous. People in Michigan can recognize, they just know this is a sales call. This is they'd rather want to talk to somebody that they feel is local, that understands, Michigan itself. So again, as much of a in-house local vibe that you can have, that's who you're serving. So, they got to feel comfortable with you. So, I mean, that's our take. I mean, I'm not against call centers. I think there's a place for them. And if we found a good one, of course we would do that.
Got it.
We haven't had that. We haven't had any luck.
Same with me.
Same with you.
Yeah. Like, we have tried, like couple of call centers from different countries, but got sued every time.
You got sued every day?
No, got sued every time.
Oh, you got screwed. Okay. Yeah.
So like, like some of those call centers some of homeowners sued us for TCPA loss. So we have
Yeah.
been,
Yeah, that's the other
down.
thing. You got to make sure you're following all the new rules. You know,
Correct.
there's a lot,
Yeah.
a lot there. So
So we have been down more than $50,000 in those lawsuits. So that sucks.
yeah, it happens. We got our money
Mhm.
back from the fund, so that was cool.
Oh, that's great. And what do you think about advertising on these different platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google Ads? What do you think about that?
That's one of our main lead sources, is Facebook ads, honestly. I know there's a whole other market out there, but we like, again, back to the whole thing. This is kind of a common denominator. We do it in-house. We tried outsourcing it, and it's just our cost per acquisition is a stupid high. So we're trying to get better at it in-house. Try to add more in-house avenues. And again, once we have full control over that, so we're not relying on someone else doing what they say they're going to do.
That's
Yeah,
great.
meeting people where they're at is huge. You can get your customer persona down and have a great offer, a great call to action on a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad or even a YouTube ad, but meeting people where they're at, whether that's door to door or doing trade shows, event shows where you can actually have a conversation face to face with somebody. That's grassroots home services 101. That's your bread and butter right there. It's just you got to work.
So what metrics look like right now? Like what is the cost per lead which you're getting in Michigan? What's your CPA, cost per acquisition? And how many leads you guys are getting? How many appointments you guys are doing?
We'll pull it up right now.
What do you want? A monthly number, yearly number, year to date? Let me give a year to date.
Yeah.
How about that?
Sounds good.
I've got a report already ready for you. So year to date, and these are real numbers from our books. Okay. We have our cost per lead is $61, and our acquisition cost is just under $1,600.
Cost per sit is $352.
Yeah. So the acquisition cost, obviously the cost per lead is important. 17% conversion rate from lead to sit. But the acquisition costs, our goal, just to get into that, is to get down in the $500 range. So for those guys looking into getting the solar who are already in it, no, it costs money to advertise. Ultimately, while one of our mission, part of our mission is to, have happy customers that come back to us, lifelong relationship. That second money, that repeat customer, referral customer, self-generated customer, all drives that CPA down. So it ain't cheap. Advertising is not free.
Definitely. And you guys are targeting entire state of Michigan or just some areas?
Mostly. So Michigan has two parts, upper and lower peninsula, for those that aren't familiar. We target most of the southern peninsula to a point. Our primary focus is within about a 60-mile range of our office, though. We are looking to expand, open up new locations in the next 12 months in 2 other areas of the state. Excuse me.
Sounds good. And the CPA which you guys are doing right now with just covering the half the state, it's actually good, because what we have seen, if we cover the entire state, then the cost per lead can get to $40 per single lead, and the CPA can be around $1,300 for $1,200. Once you add multiple states, then you guys can have the cost per lead of $24, $20. So that's the thing when things can change.
That's great information. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. So one question, if you guys suddenly got awarded with $5 million, okay, so what you will be doing with it for your business?
If we have $5 million in the bank,
Yep. If I gave you $5 million
in revenue. I'm sorry. Say again.
If you guys got awarded $5 million, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
If we,
Then-
so first thing would be to pay off any debt. If there were any remaining, we pay off any bills day one. Second, I got the money, all bills will be paid. You might have different answers, but item two is going to be maximize our efficiencies at this location, including
Mhm.
right products that we may or may not already have. And then the third thing would be expansion. Let's start looking at a new location, and then obviously, while that's happening, I would say dumping a bunch of that into marketing. But that may come first, but somewhere in that play, and then scaling the business. Finding the right people and putting them in the right places.
Yeah, it would all be used for the business. Like we're a debt-free company now. Well, it's a very small amount, like less than 20,000
monthly bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously make sure bills are paid, make sure employees are paid, of course. We always get paid last. But yeah, my mindset would have been new location. Let's move to the other side of the state, get a second shop. That's on the, we don't need 5 million to do that. That's already in the plan. Like there will be another location in the next 12 months. We got the target, we got the road map. We're doing it. So
Mhm.
We'll just do it faster.
yeah, I guess we would just do it faster. Yeah. We have 5 million. Yeah. Cause then you could market, get the word out,
Mhm.
whoever markets the most is going to be the one who wins, even if they have an inferior product.
Okay. And like, how you guys plan your years, your months, your every single day to, like for success? How you guys do that?
That's a simple reverse engineer. Hey, this is where we want to be in 12 months. What do we got to do
Mhm.
what do we got to do each week? What do we got to do each day? What do I got to do each hour? It's just,
and who's got to do what individual task? It all starts with the budget, though.
yeah, everything goes off the budget.
Correct. So you guys make sure that certain actions, we have to take certain actions every single day to
Yeah, and
hit
then you
that
track
goal.
it all. Then you track it all. You track it all. Like, how many follow-up calls did you make today? Salesperson 1. Oh,
Mhm.
cool. How many referrals did you ask for today? How many doors did you knock today? Right? How many hours of sales training did you do today? Because then there's data, right? The data won't lie. People lie, but the data won't lie. We bring a new salesperson on and they're like, hey, I want to make $200,000 this year. Okay, cool. Here's what you have to do. Somebody already is doing it. This is what they do every day. This is what they do every week. This is what they do every month. So here you go. Just do this.
And we track that on the operational side too. Same types of things. Inspection pass rate, job completion rate, all that stuff is tracked. But I think the most important part is that each and every member, team member or stakeholder knows what their tasks are.
Mhm.
And we set that target and we hit it.
Got
Yeah,
it.
we're results oriented. That's our last, and I love this core value is we are uncompromised in hitting our goals and targets. Our results will be measured and we expect to be profitable. This allows us to provide a 5-star one and done experience, creating ambassadors for North Coast Solar.
That sounds good.
To get results,
So, like,
no excuse, like make it happen. Obviously within the parameters of integrity and transparency, but
like so like how many appointments you guys are doing like every single month right now, and what is your goal? How many homeowners you want to speak with every single month, and how is it going to improve your business?
Our right now, which is a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing about 40 to 50 in-home appointments a month. We want to see that get to 100 real fast, because that will just double our business essentially. Because like you said earlier, the numbers don't lie. We want to get we have that's our initial target,
Mm-hmm.
and then that target, once achieved of the 100 a month, that's 3 a day basically, would get us to that expansion point, would get us to that, being able to, add more people, would be able to get us to that next level, and then we just do it again.
Yeah, and our guys are good. Our closing rate always is 30% or more, which is really good. But it's because of our sales process. It's because of our just follow the process. It's pretty simple formula.
So how your sales process looks like right now?
So we go, obviously it all starts with the marketing and getting the lead and getting the appointments. That's basic 101. Then we just have a great, in-home process set up. It begins with, warming up with the customer, getting to know each other a little bit, setting a common ground, building that relationship. And then we by a series of questions and answers and listening to the customer, we're gonna find out what their dominant buying motive is. And we want to cater to that because, each customer is a little bit different. Some people want to save money. Some people want to add value to the home. Some people want to be green. Some people they're super stoked about the tax credit or all the above. And then we cater our solution and our proposal and the rest of our presentation to that, what's important to them without leaving out important data, facts, and figures. Being transparent along the way, and we really just get excited about it and get in the hope, let them get excited about it, and we feed off that with selling over all that, selling ourselves as an individual, just like we're talking to you today, and our company, the company they're going to be dealing with, and making sure they're 1,000% comfortable when we walk out that door contract. If they're not, we don't have to the business.
Absolutely. Yeah, we do in-home consultations. Occasionally we'll do a virtual, but it's under the very upfront knowledge with the homeowner that, hey, until I'm actually at the property, can see it, boots on the ground, this is still just a very preliminary estimate. It probably will be the same once I'm there based on some questions asked. But at the end of the day, the only way to really know what's going on at that property is to be on the property. And we do everything right then and there. Our site audit is done by the salesperson. They'll get on the roof and measure it if they have to. Obviously, we're getting pictures of service panels. Send in those pictures if there's any question to our master electrician to review, to confirm, do we need to do an upgrade here on this service panel? So when we leave, if we've been there, we leave, they have a definite price. And we know the neighbor's trees are a lot bigger than we thought, or they're kind of down on a hill. So they're going to get more shade than what this Google Earth image showed, because I'm here. I can sun seek, look at the pattern of the sun. We go over all that with a homeowner in person live. So I think we do that better than anybody because it shows care, because we actually do. Again, I keep going back to this, but that's why these sales organizations that aren't at the property. I'm literally looking at a job right now because the guy's panels need to be removed to do his roof. This job, I'm not going to say the name of the company that did it. 90% of his panels, although they're facing the south, are completely shaded. They've got rails sticking out still over the top of the other rows. They never bandsawed anything down. It literally looks like a hatch job. And this is a company out of Utah who sold a guy in Michigan, and he took a year and a half just to get the PTO. I don't know how he got the PTO, because he's definitely violating fire code on his design, but it's because the company that sold it wasn't ever there. They were never at the property.
They didn't give a shit.
Yeah, and they didn't care.
All about the money.
So that's what we're fighting. That's what we're fighting against, Vinny, is people actually understanding. Yeah, there's some people that have been scammed by solar companies because wild west, like JJ said. And so we're just as much fighting the stigma of solar doesn't make sense as much as we are fighting the stigma that when it did make sense, somebody got screwed because the company took advantage of them that they worked with. So it's an uphill battle. And you know what? We accepted that challenge 4 years ago, and we've been knocking it out of the park ever since. Like
Makes sense.
every day,
Makes sense.
every day we're getting closer and closer to people understanding how things really, really work.
So right now, how many salesperson you have in your team? Like how many people are doing sales?
3.
3.5.
3. That's a little short.
Yeah. No, yeah, we've had sales teams as large as 6, 7 guys.
Mhm.
We've narrowed it down right now. There's 3 solid sales guys. JJ and I still obviously do consultations as well.
Okay.
But it comes down to somebody has to have integrity or they're not on the team anymore. I mean, if we kept somebody, even if it was like by accident 3 times in a row, you've left this part out of our sales process, which is part of our transparency. Sorry, man, you don't have the opportunity to work here anymore. Because we're not just protecting our brand, we're protecting the industry and we're protecting people and families. Like everybody that works here, we have what, 10 installers?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
But 10 installers who rely on this business to put food on their tables and college funds created and, you know, and the people that we work with, our customers. Sometimes a system can cost 30, 40, 50 grand, right? That's a lot of money. You know what I mean? So we don't take that lightly that someone's making an investment. It's great because it's an expense they already have. So they're just turning it into an investment. But if the job's not done right and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, then that's a nightmare for somebody. You know, people that aren't the tax credit when they were told they would. That changes things for people sometimes, right? Like, you know, they might not have the money to buy the groceries that week if somebody took advantage of them. So we take that very serious, man. And so why we're changing the reputation of the industry.
That's great. So like when you hire sales guys and when you like start teaching them, like how you guys do that, how you guys, like get a salesman and make sure he is doing all the right things and how you track it. Like, yeah, he is doing the right things.
So that's a pretty,
It's a great question.
yeah, it's a great question. 3 parts to that here. So obviously, we have developed a hiring and interview process. He did most of that. You know, for a sales position, we're actually going through that process right now with a gentleman. We now have a complete onboarding process, which includes 4 weeks of training. So you don't even get to go sell, you train for 4 weeks. We do offer a compensation package, you know, for that time. And then the tracking is all done through our KPIs and our metrics. Make sure everyone's hitting numbers. You know, obviously out of the gate, we don't expect someone to be amazing, but we know what can be done based on history, based on averages, and we hold people accountable to those numbers. You got to hit these numbers, or you know, we got to look at a retraining opportunity. You know, if that continues to happen or things are missed that we're trained upon, we retrain. And then if that doesn't work, then we, you know, they don't have to work with us and we find someone else. So
there's a couple of steps in our process for checks and balances to make sure we're holding people accountable and that they're being transparent with a homeowner at any job. If once it sells or even before it sells, we do a takeover call or a welcome call where every single proposal that gets sent before it's sent, a second set of eyes are on it again. And then a sales manager or one of us talks to the homeowner and we ask them specifically, what is your understanding of the tax credit? We have a transparency disclosure that we ask the homeowner to sign. And that's not a CYA for us. It's a check and balance to make sure that these things were discussed with the homeowner. It makes them feel great to know, hey, these guys actually are signing this and I'm signing this that's saying all of these topics were discussed and I have a clear understanding of them. Right? Like what other companies doing that? They leave information out, right? We give everybody all the facts, all the good, the bad, the truth, whatever. And it's all laid out. So it's really difficult. Honestly, when we incorporated that transparency disclosure in the home, we had a guy pretty much, he was a pretty good salesperson. He ended up leaving. It only took him a couple weeks to realize I can't sell anymore because I'm not being completely transparent. Right.
Right.
So it weeds out the bad apples, and it shows who can sell based on the value that they bring to the table, not just some gimmick that they're making up while they're sitting at someone's kitchen table.
So like how you make sure that everything is, like taken care of. Your salesman is doing everything what you're expecting.
We do daily reports. We do, there's checklists for site audits when they're turned in. There's a pretty simple workflow that's set up. It's checks and balances really. And then follow the process.
Right.
Like hold yourself accountable. And it's pretty laid out. This is how it works. If you do these things, you'll be very successful, and we'll have happy customers, which makes your job easier.
Correct. So as a solar business owner, what is the biggest challenge you guys are facing right now?
Biggest challenge, honestly, because we've nipped a lot of the other ones in the bud, is the regulations with the municipalities, because they're all different. The inspectors, half of them, may or may not know the code about solar the right way. And then probably even more than that would be the utility companies and dealing with their regulations. Those are the biggest challenges, because the reason they're the biggest challenges, we have zero control over it. We have a say where there's things that can be done, which takes a lot of people because they got a lot of money. But we have no control over it. We just got to deal with it for now. The people stuff, the numbers, the marketing, everything else we talked about, we have total control over that. So the biggest challenge are the things that are 100% not in our control, and that's the two.
Got it. And how do you think these things are gonna change in future?
By regulations, the industry being more regulated, the government possibly stepping in a little bit to regulate the utility companies, not just us, but the utility companies and the local municipalities all getting on the same page. That's like a big hope and a dream, and hopefully it does happen, because I think that no one loses in that situation.
Yeah, it's all about people that are taking advantage of solar because they've got the right property for it. The property has what it takes. Them getting involved in, at the legislation level, state by state. The public service commissions are supposed to keep the utility companies in line, and it almost seems like they're on the side of the utility companies.
They're getting paid.
On the side, man. Well, I didn't want to do the conspiracy theory thing, but at the end of the day, the people have the voice. So all our customers, we encourage them to get involved with Vote Solar, Solar United Neighbors, sign up so they get alerted when there's a new petition to sign. That's how any change has happened, right? Is people got together and said something, and then the politicians finally actually listen. So at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, that's what we hope happens, is more and more people get involved, and then everybody wins, So that's solar is one of those things that, like, I don't care what your politics are. If you're on the left, if you're on the right, it doesn't really matter. It's good for everybody at the end of the day. You're either going to save money or you're going to save the planet. What's wrong with that?
So let's say I'm a homeowner, okay? And if you have, what will you tell, what will be the 5 things that a homeowner wouldn't, have to take care of before they go solar? What will be the 5 things? they need to
5
make
things
sure?
they should know.
Yeah.
One, you got to have little to zero shade on your property. So that's a big one.
Okay.
2, you want to make sure that you have enough taxable income to be able to take advantage of the tax credit, right?
Not a deal breaker, but
Not a
it's
deal
helpful.
breaker. But 3, are you going to be in the home, for a while? That's not always a deal breaker either, but that's a big one. How long do you own the home? How long you be in the home?
And let me jump in on 4. 4, work with a local solar advisor. Do not talk to somebody out of state that doesn't know where you live, doesn't understand the rules for that state specifically or that utility specifically. Do not work with an out-of-state company for a solar project.
Yeah, and then with same thing with that is have someone that come to the home.
Yeah.
So that we can help you identify all those things. And you know what? Get multiple quotes. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Compare the good, the bad, the ugly. 90% of the time, the good's gonna win.
Right. And what will be the 5 things, like 5 no-dos for the people who are starting out in solar? Like 5 things they don't want to do.
Number 1, you already heard it. Don't subcontract. Do everything in house.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way to do it. That's the only sustainable way to do it. It's best for our industry. Get some mentors would be number 2. Find someone maybe not in your local state that you're competing against, but someone that's done it before. Maybe watching these podcasts is probably part of that, right? Make sure you have the 3 big ones, right? The people, the right processes in place, and communication. From a company standpoint, building our company, that's what we didn't have. Even when we were successful early on, we didn't have all the right people. We had no processes in place, and communication was there. It wasn't clear and concise.
Mm-hmm.
So again, in-house, right? What was the second one? Processes, people, communication. There was one in the middle there. I forgot what it was, but recapping. Mentors finding someone that's done it before and was successful at it. Don't listen to people. There's so many people out there talking about this and that on the solar Facebook group, and none of them have been successful, or they haven't been successful for very long, or they're not going to be around very long. So talk to someone that's been around, knows what they're doing.
And it doesn't have to necessarily be the solar industry that you find a mentor. Find somebody who's built a successful business, maybe even exited it, and that business is still running, because what they exited was a process, things that were in place. So find somebody who knows more than you do, is what we did.
Good.
Then we're getting close on time here. We're actually over, but we both do have a jam-packed schedule today, so I don't know how much more we got here.
No, it's gonna be another just few more minutes. So, do you guys read books?
Do we read books?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm more of an audiobook person, but yes.
I do both. I listen and read.
Okay, so what's your top recommendation?
What's a good book to read?
No, what
Top
will be your
recommendation.
Top recommendation. Go ahead, JJ.
Top recommended. All depends on what area you're looking at. But one of my favorites, Grant Cardone, Closer Survival Guide. When you're looking at sales, he's got a ton of good ones. That's one of my favorites. So,
I would say for if you're more on the operations side and getting the right people and getting the right processes in place, then definitely read Teamwork by Natalie Dawson. Pretty new book. She's quite phenomenal. And then her husband's book, Brandon Dawson's 9-Figure Mindset. Those are the people right there that know how to run and create and exit successful businesses. That's actually their mission and their passion, is helping small businesses avoid the mistakes that they made and teach what they learned along the way. So,
Or anything written by John Maxwell.
yeah, anything by John Maxwell, amazing.
Got it. So my last question will be, guys, what's the one question you wish I would have asked, and how would you guys have responded it?
That's a great question.
What's
That
the one
The one that
question?
you just asked. That
The
was-
one, the one question that we wish you would have asked is, boy, that's a tough one. You asked a lot of great questions.
You did.
Thanks.
Yeah, I can't really think of one, to be honest with you. Good work.
Thanks for that. And
Sorry, we can't give you more feedback, Vinit. You did such a good job. So I was like, hey, like that.
thank you for that, Jimmy.
That as a attaboy. And all your questions were very well-rounded, insightful. They actually had purpose for the topic. So yeah, no, I thought this was great. You actually did ask a few questions that were challenging, that I wouldn't say I was prepared for, but yeah.
Okay, thanks for that, man. And like, if someone want to contact you guys, so how they can contact you, like after they see this podcast, if someone's want to contact you?
Probably the best way would be going to our website, which is www.northcoast-solar.com.
Yeah, or you can email me, Jimmy, JIMMY, @northcoast-solar.com. Happy to talk to anybody. JJ will not give you his email.
So like, thanks Jimmy and John for getting on this podcast. I don't know, like you guys have said so many things, so many valuable things, and I've learned like so much from you guys.
Hey, we appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Vinit. Enjoy your day, man. Make it a good one.
You too have a great journey, man. And I definitely want like speak with you guys again, like this podcast.
Love to. Yeah,
Perfect.
thank you.